This player is getting plus 17 minus 29 LP per win and loss. 200 games, 52% win rate in gold 3. Why? It's the same reason why 90% of players who are struggling to climb this season are getting these kind of LP games. Because they fucked up their account. They fucked up their MMR. They fucked up around at the start of the season playing whatever champion they wanted. They didn't have a strategy. They just went into solo queue and went, I want to get to Plat 4, but I'm just going to do the same thing I did last season, even though I ended gold 4 last season. And they just kind of go into solo queue and expect different results. Well, in today's profile review in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what you need to do to fix this. So if your MMR is doomed, if you're losing more LP than you're gaining, please watch this video because I'm going to tell you everything you need to do as a gold player to get to platinum, to get to diamond for the first time. I'm going to show you multiple ways to do it. Now, before we get in this profile view, if you want your own profile view, just like this personalized, like amazing insights, please check out the link in the YouTube comment description below. I always get that mixed up. Let's get into the Profile Review Academy. In the next 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to basically show you how to go from gold 3, which is your current rank, to your goal rank of Plat/diamond. And I'm going to show you basically 2 ways to do it. One, the way where you try and do it on your own. I mean, like less than 1% of players actually do this. The majority of Plat and Diamond players, to get there the first time, they do get coaching, but it's still possible if you're disciplined, strategic, and that goal is really worth it and meaningful to you. And the second way, which is of course coaching, which just makes it quicker, easier, and almost guaranteed. If you just do what the coach says, super easy to climb. But yeah, let's get into it. So the big 4 things I'm going to be focusing about on this profile view, and it helps talk about your problem that you submitted when you submitted this form, is your role. So what role you're playing to climb, your mindset, how you approach League of Legends, your MMR, what to do to fix it, or how to get to platinum or diamond in the fastest way possible, regardless of this account's MMR. And then the biggest thing that's holding you back in-game, which is your laning phase. So let's start with the first one. In League of Legends, when a player is trying to climb to the top 8 to 2% of their server, which is platinum to diamond, so platinum's about the top 8%, diamond is about the top 2%, they need to focus on one role and basically one trick. This is almost the only way players without getting coaching can climb to platinum or diamond for the first time. It is extremely hard with how long the game's been out, how good the players are, and the fact that everyone else who is trying to climb, or who is serious about climbing and who succeeds, I should say, is one-tricking and playing like one role or a small champion pool. It's very hard to climb any other way because it's almost the meta of climbing. So how does this relate to your account? Well, right now, over your 40 games, you've got a 52% win rate, which is pretty good. The ideal win rate for climbing is 55%, and it's good to see in your last 40 games you have a 57% win rate, which basically means what you're doing right now is working, but there's an asterisk there. And the biggest thing I see is right now that you've got these 2 champions. You've got Ari, which is your most played, and you've got Caitlyn, which is your second most played, but they're both in different roles and they're entirely different to play. They're like polar opposites almost. And so when I see a player who is gold 3, 0 LP, who is losing more LP than they're gaining per win, is 200 games deep into gold, 52% win rate, and they're saying they want to get to platinum and diamond, I immediately look to their champion pool and go, well, is their strategy or how they're approaching solo queue with their champions and the roles they're playing aligned to their goal? And for you, the answer is no, because right now, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're not going to be able to climb to diamond. You might be able to climb to platinum. I'd say you have like a 5 to 10% chance doing exactly what you're doing, but it's going to be really hard. So going back to that theory of what is the most successful and easiest way for players to climb either with coaching or without coaching to platinum and diamond for the first time, top 8 to 2% of players, it is one-tricking. And so the question you really need to answer, I should say, in this profile view is, what champion are you going to play? Are you going to one-trick Ari or are you going to one-trick Caitlyn? Because if you're serious about climbing to platinum or diamond, it is very unlikely that you're going to be able to climb there without one-tricking one of these. Now, to help you out a bit, if I was you, I would look at which champion have I played the most, which champion do I have the highest win rate on, and which champion do I enjoy the most. And how much you weigh these three questions or variables is purely dependent on your approach to League of Legends and how quickly you want to climb to your goal rank and how serious you are about it. So if I was you, I would pick Ahri. It's a no-brainer. 58% win rate over 71 games. It's a 5% higher win rate than your Caitlyn. And even in your last 40 games, the majority have been played on Ahri, and you've got a 56% win rate. She's basically the reason you're climbing at the moment. And if we look at Mobalytics quickly, okay, we can kind of see a bit of a dip here, which is interesting given your most recent win rate, but it's probably because your MMR is so screwed. Minus 28 plus 17. Yeah, that's rough. Cool. So if I was you, quickest way for you to climb right now is just to play Ahri. And, you know, mid is a popular role, right? So you're probably going to get auto-filled around 10 to 20% of your games. And what I would recommend is you queue up as mid primary and AD carry secondary. Whenever you get AD carry, whenever you don't get mid, you just play your Caitlyn. Because it's your second most successful champion with the most games played. And I assume because they're your two top most played champions, you're having a lot of fun on them. So keep playing them. We really need to fulfill those three things in League of Legends and we can climb to whatever rank. A lot of games, which is champion mastery, high win percentage, which means we can play this champion to a higher level than the elo we're currently playing at, which is a really good indicator of can I climb. And the third one is, can I enjoy it? League of Legends is a computer game. It's a fucking grind. You've already played 200 games this season. If you're not enjoying the champions you're playing, it's so hard to get to the top 2 to 8% of League of Legends solo queue, right? Imagine in life you're trying to get to the top 2 to 8% of something and you just hate it. Like you hate your job or you hate your study or whatever. Of course, it's going to be almost impossible to get to that top tier because the people that are there, they love it. They live and breathe what they're doing and they enjoy it. And that's the reason why they want to do well. So, brings me on to the next one is your mindset. Right now, the problem that you said, so the biggest thing that you said is holding you back right now is the inconsistency of decent players, which immediately makes me think you have a victim mindset where you are thinking that you can't climb because the players you're getting are shit. And if we use that logic and we extend it to every single player, it would basically mean that no one can climb because everyone is getting shit teammates. And then if you say, no, well, it's just me, well, then how is that possible? Is League of Legends targeting your account with bad players? It just really doesn't stack up. And the fact that I coach, or I see hundreds of gold, silver, platinum, bronze, and below players complaining about the same thing, bad teammates, it makes me think that, yes, there is a problem. You're always going to get trolls. You're always going to get rages. You're always going to get inters. But there's a problem with the individuals who think this way, and it's a victim mindset, and I rarely ever see these players who continue to keep a victim mindset climb to the top 2 to 8% of players, which is what you want to do. So you need to really have a hard look at yourself, and it's not going to happen overnight, but this is probably the first conversation that is going to kick you out of this like victim mindset is you need to decide, are you the agent? Are you the one who's in control of your climbing journey or not? Because no one else is going to climb you out of gold. The way people climb out of gold is by doing it themselves. They don't just get lucky. Like I would say like less than 1% of players who get to platinum or diamond for the first time are lucky. Like how could you be lucky over 200 games? You just keep getting the best teammates and the other team keeps getting all the shit ones. It just doesn't make sense logically. It doesn't make sense statistically. And it doesn't make sense as a game. Why would Riot target in some accounts and not others? So you need to fix your mindset. You need to change your mindset from a victim mindset to what can I do as an individual to improve my games? And statistically, no matter how good you are at League of Legends, you're always going to lose at least 30 to 40% of your games. It is very hard over an entire season, unless you're smurfing, to have a higher than 60% win rate. The average win rate in League of Legends is 50%. The average win rate for players in Challenger is about 55% at the end of the season. So, if the best players in League of Legends are losing 45% of their games, do you think they're blaming for those 45% of the games bad teammates and that's the reason they can't get a higher win rate? No. I don't think so. It's part of the problem, it's not the solution, and people can still climb even if it's an issue. I would say in gold as well, it becomes less of an issue. In iron, it's actually probably the biggest issue. And in gold, you can't be blaming your teammates as to why you can't climb. So this brings me into my third point, which you need to focus on, is your MMR. Now, there's two paths you can choose besides paid coaching or free coaching, or taking my advice, not taking my advice. There's another path that you need to choose here, and that is, what account do you want to get to platinum or diamond for the first time? So the majority of players, they always want their main account to get to platinum because they have an emotional attachment to it. They have skins on it, they have their mastery points, they've got all the champions unlocked. You know, they want their main account. It's precious to them. They want their main account to be the account they get to platinum or diamond the first time. It feels more legitimate. You know, this is my hard-earned account that I've been playing for seasons on. It's the one I want to get to platinum. However, that isn't the fastest way to get to platinum or diamond. And given that you said you've got a problem where your MMR seems screwed, and to be honest, it is at the moment, you're getting like plus 17 and you're losing like, I can't remember actually, let me look at it. You're getting minus 17, plus 17, okay, minus 24, minus 29, minus 28, plus 17. So you're getting fucked by the MMR system right now. And that is partly because, you know, you've got 200 games in gold. The MMR system basically thinks you're a gold player, and it's why it's not giving you more LP for wins. So if I was you, and this is like theoretical land, but this can be a reality for you if you're that serious about climbing to platinum and diamond in the fastest way possible. If I was you, I would get in a second account where I've already got it, I hand level it to level 30, or you buy it. I would get that account, and I would just one-trick Ari for 100, 150, 200 games. I would one-trick Ari until I hit the platinum. And then I'd go get a coach and be like, all right, what am I doing wrong? Or after 100 games, if you're not plat yet, you go, all right, I need a coach. What am I doing wrong? And again, if you want to accelerate that climbing even faster, you'd get a coach at the start of that journey. But the fastest way for you right now to climb to platinum or diamond for the first time would be to get a fresh account with no MMR. So it's first season playing ranked. One trick Ari, just buy Ari and just one trick it until you hit the platinum. That is the easiest way for you to climb. Now, the final thing I'm going to leave you with, and to be honest, this is a pretty action-packed, like high-value profile review, so you're very lucky here, and this is a lot of shit for you to take in and absorb, and you're not going to be able to implement it all overnight. But the biggest thing that is holding you back, regardless of everything else I've talked about, is what you're doing in-game, specifically your laning phase. Right now, in mid lane, over your last 140 games, you are averaging 436 gold deficit, which means almost 1.5 kills you're averaging being behind your enemy mid laner. And basically what that means is laning phase is the part of the game where you have the most control over. And so for someone who complains about bad teammates, well, if you have bad teammates and, you know, they were actually holding you back, I would look at your laning phase as the biggest indicator of, is this player good or are they actually getting bad teammates? And again, it's false. You're not getting bad teammates. It's not the reason you're not being able to climb, because the enemy team has a higher chance of getting bad teammates than you do. Because if you play well every game, you've only got 4 slots to get a bad player, right? Whereas the enemy team, because you're not on there, they've got 5 slots. So that logic just falls apart in every single aspect. But if I was like, maybe this player is getting injured, you know, they have really good KDA, they have a really good score, I would look at their laning phase, because that is the thing an individual in solo queue has the most control over. Because in mid game, late game, it becomes much more team orientated. A lot more factors come into play, and it's just harder to influence the game and your goal. So the fact that you're behind a kill and a half basically makes me think you've got an in-game problem here that has nothing to do with your teammates. It's how you play laning phase. So if I look at Ari, I can see again, it's like, if I can look at Ari, yeah, you're still minus 300. So you need to fix your laning phase. The biggest 3 things that really hold gold mid laners back, and it's the reason why they have deficits, are they're dying in laning phase through ganks, incorrect 1v1s, over pushing the wave, etc. Last hitting and wave management, biggest one, and recall timers. Those are the 3 things that generally lead to 99% of gold players' gold deficits in the first 15 minutes. Dying too much in laning phase, not CSing properly, or managing the wave, and recalling at bad times, which has to do with both of those things as well. They're all joined together. So those are big 3 things you need to work on, and there's plenty of free resources out there to do that. You can literally just type into Google, how to manage mid lane wave, how to play Ari in the mid lane, how to generate a gold lead as Ari in the first 15 minutes of the game consistently. Plenty of free resources out there. So we come to the end of the profile review and we're going, well, okay, we've got two paths now. We've got, I can take all this advice on board and I can give this a go and try and climb myself, right? You could take all this information and try and do it. I've been doing profile reviews for 6 years and 95% of the time, players love the profile review, they won't get coaching, and they don't climb. I look at their accounts, I look at every single op.gg I do, I look at them in 3 months, I look at them in 1 month time, 3 month time, and 6 month time to see where they go. 95% of them do not climb, they stay at the same rank. 5% do because they're willing to take this advice and they know how to apply it and they've got the dedication or the vision that I can become a Plat player. This player or this coach has told me what to do. I just now need to implement it. I've basically given you all the tools to build your house. You've got to now go and build it. I've told you exactly how to build the door frame, the walls, the roof. I've told you how to do everything. You've just got to go and do it. And that's the thing 95% of players struggle with. So the other avenue, which is why League of Legends coaching is a thing, is you get a coach to basically tell you exactly what to do and stay on top of you so that you don't stray from the strategy that they've set out for you. And you just continue to do what they've told hundreds of players before you to get to platinum, to get to diamond. They know how to do it. And so if you're interested in a solution like that, that can accelerate your learning and almost guarantee yourself being able to get to platinum or diamond, I would recommend either getting a one-off game review with us and my challenger coaches, or setting yourself up if you're much more serious about coaching, you've had coaching before and you're ready to dive into it and you're serious, setting up a monthly subscription where you get access to one-on-one game reviews, weekly group coaching, 24/7 help through Discord with your coach. So one-on-one chat. Whenever you have an issue, you just go to them. Stat tracker, monthly focus areas. So the biggest thing that hold players back is they get some advice and then a month later they're like, okay, I fixed that problem, what next? The beauty of monthly coaching is we break down every single thing that's holding you back from gold 3 to gold 2, gold 2 to plat 4, plat 4 to plat 2. And the problems are going to change as you climb higher and higher. You're going to start to find new problems arising from bad habits and things you just don't know about or have learnt about yet. And that's where coaching comes in. So if you're interested in learning more about that and how that would look like for you, please, once you've watched this, reach out to me and you can book a free call and I can basically run you through exactly what that would look like as well as pricing. If not, I wish you luck. 95% of players are not able to climb without coaching, climb to platinum or diamond, but it's not impossible. Players can, and I love to be proved wrong. Like, my goal as a coach is to see players climb, whether they get my coaching or they just take my free advice. At the end of the day, I want to see you climb. I don't want to see you not climb. I don't want to see you fail. I want to see you improve. But I can only give so much of my time for free. Anyway, mate, I hope you've enjoyed the profile view. If you're interested or have any questions, if you're interested in paid coaching, or if you have any questions about this profile view once you watched it, please reach out to me on Discord once you watch this. As always, cheers, good luck on the rift, and I'll see you soon.